Okay, so we're recording now. So great to connect, Pearl. So nice to meet you. I'm so grateful that we're all connecting together. And as I shared with Matthew, I checked out your website and really honor and appreciate the work you're doing. I feel like there's so much resonance between all of us energetically. I'm just, really grateful for this connection and for whatever is going to get created from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where do we begin?
Yeah, great question. Well, first of all, just in terms of the recording, we'll plan to make this public, but if anything gets said that you think shouldn't be out in public, let me know and we'll stop the recording and then we'll start a new recording. And if we don't stop it the whole way, then we'll just plan to make it public. So does that sound good? Okay, cool. And if there's like certain parts, like you want to share certain things about your business or anything about things personally that you don't want in the recording, just let me know. We'll pause the recording and we'll get into that. And then we'll start the recording again when we're done with the private stuff. So does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Also, Jim, we need to keep it to within an hour today.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, not like the marathon we had last night. Good distinction. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was great.
That was fun. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to share with you guys the latest, as I shared with you, Matthew. Now I've created the control panel, which is amazing. And now that I've created the control panel, it really creates the visual for letting you guys have full control and management over all the realities that you're creating in your life. And it really is a more intentional and specific way to make sure that you're devoting the flow of your time and your finances and your relationship capital and any resources that you have to provide in exchange for whatever realities you want to create. This is maximizing and optimizing the use of those resources so that you can, again, as a control panel, say, I want this reality to be happening. Let me turn the knobs up so this one can start happening, and this one needs to get going. So let me turn the knobs over here and this one will get going. And we'll talk about the whole mechanisms behind all of that and how to give you guys like that level of control over what realities are getting created in your world. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So I think to begin with, since Matthew, I got a pretty good idea of the foundation of what you're interested in doing, business-wise and the types of things that we're going to talk about. Let me tune into now, Pearl, what you want to share about what your priorities are in your world and what's most important to you and what are the realities that you have in your mind that we're going to start putting onto your control panel and start, bringing into reality in an accelerated way.
Well, first of all, I'm very grateful for what you're offering, because even with the small amount that we saw from your sort of little bit of intro discussion, or just as you were talking about what your plans are, you can see right away that one of the reasons why my projects have not taken off is that I don't have a team. And it's no wonder, because I've been trying to do everything myself. And I actually have the vision and the mission that I have, but I haven't had the team. And so right away, with what you were showing with the mechanisms and all the little pieces that have to fit together, I could see immediately. So what I have is that I've developed a method of healing art that is touching on a whole field of a new approach in medicine, and working with living fascia and how to very simply work with that. And it's incredible what we can do with our hands. And so from that, I'm a registered massage therapist. When I work on people, they say, well, this isn't really massage. This is actually something else. And the impact of that has been phenomenal, like the amount that people can be helped. And I was brought to this work as a calling in 1987, which I learned later was a harmonic convergence. So there were people that...
Sorry.
Emphasis on the harmonic convergence. I appreciate it.
That's right.
I just wanted to raise the computer a little bit here. There.
Okay.
I pay attention to those synchronicities, right? On the harmonic convergence. Go ahead.
That's true. It's harmony through conflict, right? That's the harmonic convergence. I was called into moving from music into massage therapy, registered massage therapy, which in British Columbia is a lot of training. It's like thousands of hours before receiving accreditation, and so then working with doctors. And from that, I've developed a whole new form of treatment. I have whole protocols for it. I have a practice that I can't manage all of the people. It's incredible. And so from that, I've developed a teaching method of at least 13 courses right now, but there should be more. There's 2 more coming of how to teach other therapists. So my work has been accredited by my profession and licensing board so that people can take the courses to continue keeping their license. So it's a continuing education program. So I'm working
Awesome.
with one-on-one, but I know that I have to go online with it now. And so for this next little while, I've done some video of the work so that I can do an online course that people can take as a prerequisite to do a deeper study. So I've also been working on a book that isn't finished yet, but I know from the writing that there's at least 3 books, and there is a workbook that has to go along with the courses. So there's 3 different stages to this, and so the training that I have is in the medical model, but in the process of my training, I also met a healer that I apprenticed with for many years, and so my work is a bridge between the spiritual and the physical. So I learned the anatomy of form and the anatomy of spirit at the same time, and so I have a niche in there where it's a healing art. It's definitely a healing art. So what my vision is how to bring this calling out to the world. Before I met Matthew, I had been supported by a woman that was a psychic, and she sent over several hundred people to me in my work. And she did a reading for me, and she said that I'd be bringing in a healing art form that would help millions of people. And I had a choice if I could just be present for one-on-one and help a few hundred people, or the work would go to millions. And that was about 25 years ago. And at that time, I thought what she was talking about was the healing arts, that like the energetic. And I did a series of teachings with that. I taught a 1,000-hour healing program for healers. But at that time, my work was not developed. What the real work is, I know now what she was talking about. It took 25 years or more for me to understand what she was saying, but it's now. The time is now. This work helps with so much, could be directed towards helping with long haul COVID. It helps people. Basically, what COAT does is there's something in our environment that is drying our bodies out, whatever that is. Don't know what it is, but people are more and more dehydrated than they've ever been. And along with that, what COAT does is helps your body produce its own water. So because it's not the water we drink that we need, it's the water that's produced in our bodies. So I feel now coming out of COVID that, and into an environment where there's a lot of unusual things that people are experiencing because our environment has changed, that COAT brings in a missing piece to other medical models or healing art models that just accelerates whatever people are doing, whether they're doing any form of hands-on work that physiotherapists, osteopaths, or massage therapists, or doctors, or anyone that is even just Reiki practitioners or someone at home doing something gentle. It's such an easy understanding of how to do this work. So my challenge right now is how to find all the pieces, which is what you're offering to bring this forward. So that's basically where I'm.
Amazing. It's amazing. It's so fascinating to me. I was fascinated just when I read the fascia part on your website. And I have to say, the last time that someone was talking to me about fascia was Dr. Bernard Shannon. Do you know him, Dr. Shannon?
No.
Do you know Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson?
No.
You don't? Okay. So I'm excited to introduce you to his work. So you'll be excited to see it. So I'm curious now to know like where it's gone and where it's developed. But Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson has been like one of the main bridges of Qigong and Qigong knowledge from China over to the Western world. And so he's written volumes and volumes and volumes about all the medical Qigong. My ex-girlfriend, Lisa, Matthew knows Lisa. Lisa has become a doctor of medical Qigong. So she's trained and she's personally studied with Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson around the country numerous times. She travels to go and take sessions. And so she's been studying for years and years and years. And he's trained, I don't know how many thousands of medical Qigong practitioners around the country. And Dr. Bernard Shannon used to be his assistant running the school. And then at some point, they just kind of started going off in separate directions. I met Dr. Shannon and this was around the time you and I met, Matthew, when it was at a National Qigong Association conference. And I went to the conference for like 2 or 3 years in a row. And then I met him there and he was doing just, one of the sessions there. And he just had us like hang. And I want you to hang and I want you to feel the connective tissue, in between your muscles and your ligaments and just all the connective tissue in there. He said, activating your fascia is essentially the key to activating your energetic body, essentially is what he was saying at the time. And he was talking about how really through all of his study, he had finally like gotten to this deep level of understanding of Qigong, like really emanating from the fascia, what was happening in your fascia in your body, essentially. And at the time, I'm pretty sure he was describing it as essentially like cutting edge for his understanding and what he was teaching and that sort of thing. And that was, just to give you a time frame, that was around 2007, 2008, somewhere in the neighborhood, probably 2008. And or maybe a couple of years later. But anyways, I think you'll be very interested to see, what they're putting out there in the world, especially in that way, and what crossovers there may be and what audience there is, for the type of work that you're doing. And especially, like you're saying, it sounds like what you're doing could be really helpful for people that are practicing medical Qigong as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Fascia is actually a bridge between so many different levels. It's the energetic bridge, but it's also the physical bridge. And I think one of the missing pieces in a lot of the healing arts is actually taking that energetic and actually seeing how it physically works in the body. And just to give you a little bit more understanding of fascia, it's not just the connective tissue, it is what all of the structures in your body are made of. So it's not just the muscles and tendons and ligaments, which is what they thought fascia was when they were studying cadavers. But now that we're studying living tissue, we find out that it's the living matrix of everything. So when I say dehydration, it's not just a lack of water, but it's that the vessels themselves, like the blood vessels themselves, are made of fascia. And the blood vessels themselves are shrinking, or the nerves are shrinking, or the muscles or the organs, even the bone is made of fascia. So it's like this connective substance that's a protein that makes everything in our body. And the only difference between the muscles and the organs is how much water they're holding.
Very interesting.
So that different, and the bone is also made of the same structure, but it's holding less water and more of the mineral content. And so the fascia itself is this gel. So one of the terms I use, I don't know if I had it on my website, but if you people often think of a spider web, excuse me, how a spider web is interconnected. You touch one part of the spider web and the whole web resonates. So if you think of that, fascia is like that, but the spider web is only one plane. So now if you take that and put it in multiple directions, like thinking of a cocoon. Now think of a cocoon as suspended like that and different densities of that. And now you're understanding what your body is made of, is the fascia. So that's, and it's, everything is interconnected. And so no matter what part of the body you're working on, you can affect the whole. And so that's very exciting, and works into so many different levels of understanding and energetics and spirituality and physicality and interconnecting with inside oneself or with the world around you. So, or the universe around us. So,
Yeah, that's amazing.
so I'm very interested in looking into what these doctors are doing as well. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think David Beaudry also studied with Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson, because
I
he
think
got at the master's degree as well in medical qigong. Yeah.
And there's two medical
awesome.
qigong
That's
practitioners here that have taken my courses, and they've said that it accentuates what they're already doing. It brings whatever people are doing to a new higher level of effectiveness and speed.
That's awesome. That's so great. I really appreciate the way that you shared it all and what you're doing to bring all that into the world. It's really awesome. I totally honor and appreciate what you're bringing through, and the journey that it's been to bring all of this through. I totally get that. I get the dedication and what it takes to, do all of this for so long. So thank you. I totally appreciate that. And also, I want to take a moment to thank you guys for the support after the last meeting, Matthew. It was really amazing how quickly and how much you guys supported. I really just want to honor you guys and thank you guys for really feeling it and really feeling the connection. And that, Matthew, you and I we connected on such a deeper level than I do with almost anybody else, and I really appreciate that. And vicariously already, before this meeting to Pearl, and now Pearl, you and I are getting to, understand and get each other as well. And I really appreciate that. And I want to, to maximize the use of our time together now. What I want to do is I want to actually train you guys on using the system. So this way you can actually be using the system after we're done with this session. So I'm going to give you all of the basics on how to use the system. And we're actually going to use it now as much as we can in the 40 minutes we have left to be able to get as much of what's in your mind, mapped out on in a mind map, and then also starting to build these reality generating machines and starting to populate your dashboard. So I guess I'll ask, who are we going to work with first? Which visions are we going to start, Pearl? Okay, great. Okay, very good. So what we're going to do to begin with, Pearl, just to make it very broad and let you just start, putting everything out there, is we're going to start with a mind map. So have you done mind mapping before?
I've done a little bit, not very much. I know what a mind map is, but I haven't been able to follow one. So
I got you. I totally get that. It's like we always, and even for me, it's like I've had awareness of it for so long and not used it so much, but now I am. Now I'm starting to really use it. So let's go ahead and start creating a new mind map for you. And so what should we title this, Pearl? And this is basically going to be the overall intention of everything that we're going to map here. So what would you like to call it?
should, like, the intention of what we're doing, or
Essentially, because we're going to branch off into what needs to get done to fulfill that intention.
So the technique is called COAT, excuse me, COAT.
I'll get you some water.
Thank you. And code is spelled with a small o, like it, yeah. So it's course of applied tensegrity, and immediately there's two parts to code. One is for the general public, and the other is for practitioners. Applied TENSEG.
Sorry.
Tensegrity is TENSEG. SI? Yeah. Oh, have I been spelling it wrong? No. TENSIG instead of EG. No.
RITY.
No, it's not.
EG, sorry.
I'm sorry, he was telling me the wrong spelling. It's Tenseg, like tensegrity, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Tensegr. It's tension integrity, so it's a word together.
Okay.
Tensegrity, yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, great. And so you said it splits off into public and non-public?
And practitioners.
And practitioners, okay.
Yeah.
And this is teaching is what you're saying,
Um,
right? Or no?
Or educating.
Educating, okay.
Yes. So for the public, and for practitioners too, what I'm working on is my book, to teach about where the information came from, and also videos for both. And so the videos for the public are just very general information and for self-help. And for the practitioners, it's more the courses and help others.
Okay, good. Does that all look good so far?
That's great. Yes.
Okay, great.
You
So
make it
now,
look easy.
what's that?
You make it look easy.
We're going to make it easy for you. That's the idea, right? As simple as we can make it. So now it's, where do we want to focus? We want to focus first on the book or the videos, and first for the public or the practitioners.
Right now, I need to focus on the courses and the videos for practitioners.
Okay, good. So good. Let's start with the courses. And so let's start again, focusing on the specific parts of the team that you need in order to create these videos. Like, do you need a videographer? Do you need a video editor? Do you need a venue? What are the different things that need to come together in order to create the outcome that you're looking for?
Okay. So I do have someone that has done some of the filming for me. And though she's not available all the time, so I actually need more than one videographer. And I do need an editor then as well. So the courses have two components to it. One is the videos and the other is in-person courses.
So let's go back this way. Practitioners. Oops.
I see. Okay.
And so what about the in-person? Do you have the same venue that you use all the time, or do you go to different venues, you go to different cities? What does that look like?
At the moment, I only have one venue, which is with the licensing board. But there needs to be more venues.
And she has traveled before COVID, has done some travel within British Columbia,
Yeah.
teaching.
And so the venue that I have right now is with the massage therapy in British Columbia. There's the College of Massage Therapists. It's similar to the College of Physicians and Surgeons. And that kind of college is not a learning college, it's a licensing body. And in order for people to keep their license, they need to take some continuing education. And so COAT is approved for continuing education in British Columbia. And so that's the only place that people have been finding out about COAT is through word of mouth or through looking on the college website to see what courses they can take to keep their license.
So one thing that would be huge would be getting credit approval for therapists in the U.S.
I'm spelling it like that. I was accreditation. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accreditation in the US would be huge. Okay, good. And then are there other parts of Canada that are also a priority, or just
Oh,
the US would be a higher priority?
probably the closest would be Alberta. I haven't applied there, but British Columbia has the highest reputation in the country, BC and Ontario. And so if something's accredited in BC, it's pretty much already accredited in other provinces. So the other provinces, probably Ontario. So the next ones to maybe concentrate would be Alberta and Ontario outside of BC. But it could go across the country. I'm having people in Ontario asking me if there's anyone there, or have people calling me to see if there's other therapists. So that's the other thing that needs to be done, is to set up a network of therapists to refer that in the country that people can contact to have the work.
Okay, good. So certainly we could spend more time in all of this area. I think what we'll start, just to start getting really specific for this time right now, is let's focus a little bit more on the videos that you need for the courses. We've got the videographer, video editor. What other pieces do you need to have in order to create the videos that you need to create for your courses? Do you have a delivery mechanism right now?
I
Like
don't.
what?
No, I just have a YouTube channel. Is that what you're meaning?
What's that? Well, it's more like when Matthew was describing to me that he's got a platform that's going to allow him to make people affiliates and have them send links to people and sign up, and the whole sign up and then get managed as a potential client and that sort of thing. So it's really like a client management system, essentially, because you, for all the courses, you want to start managing a sales process, essentially, right? With all of the prospects that are potentials for being students of yours, right? So so let's go and put that somewhere on here.
Yeah.
Want to say something, Matthew?
I was going to say, and a platform to post the courses, like
The whole
not,
book courses, exactly.
yeah. So it's not on YouTube for public domain. There might be tidbits on YouTube to spark interest and steer people to the courses.
That's a very key part.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, exactly. So platform to manage courses, and let's just, for lack of a better term, let's just call it sales process right now.
I don't have anything set with Danny yet.
okay.
Okay. Potential.
And just while we're in here, I'm also just going to put in like marketing and promotion, so it's on our map here. So the platform to manage the courses, let's bring that, practitioners, courses, let's bring that here. So, and that's kind of a whole world, right? Like for that, you're probably going to want to, let's say, like connect with others that might have suggestions that you know in the industry, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a resource or a research process involved for this, right? Research which platform you want, which platform to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just say like one part of that process might be connect with people you know that might have ideas about the platforms that they've used, you know, people that you know that are doing similar things, right? And so again, we'll start to get this onto the reality generating machine, but I want to, again, just to keep something narrow for us to really kind of dig into. Let's go back to the video production, videographer, video editor. And what we're going to do, I'm going to start now to integrate with the control panel right now. I'm going to actually take what we've done so far and start to map it out into the control panel so that you guys can get a sense of how to use it and how to start to play with it. So I'm going to actually have, are you on a computer or an iPad or how are you?
Yeah, we're on the computer. We're not
on the computer. Okay, perfect. So
yeah.
I'm going to have you share your screen when you're ready. And then you're going to go to unitingforaction.com and we're going to go ahead and sign you up and start having you use the control panel right from the login.
Okay, great.
Yeah. One of the very first people that's got a login into this new system. Exactly. Awesome. Which reminds me, Matthew, I keep connecting. It seems like it's happening now that we've connected. I keep connecting with all of these musicians that I want to connect you with, you know, Paloma, first of all, and now my friend Daniela has popped into my life, and she, I think, I think what you guys could create would be amazing. And then other people keep showing up. And also just to share with you guys, I really got, since we spoke, Matthew, that, are you guys familiar with the prophecy of the condor uniting with the eagle?
Yeah.
So it's really been coming to me strong lately because a friend of mine, who coincidentally is enough now, he goes by the name Condor. And he used to be in South Florida. We connected for a time. He's very much like a medicine man, you know, when I was connecting with him already. And then he went and moved back to Colombia, where he's been up in the mountain being a medicine man in Colombia, from what I can tell. And he first told me the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. And he told me that the work that I was doing was really the union, creating the union of the eagle and the condor, because I'm using technology, I'm leveraging technology to be able to bring the consciousness into it and allowing, you know, that the Gaia consciousness to come through the technology into the world. And so since I just had that remembrance like a week ago, and I even had a dream about it, now like all of these condors are showing up in my life, all of these South American people from Colombia and Mexico, and just like all of these connections are like rushing to me. So, and wow. I think, you know, and to me, even though you're not in South America, your music is holding that energy, is holding that condor energy. And so I'm just seeing that you are one of these condors that are coming to me, and that I'm weaving together with the technology to bring your energy into the world.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we're saying that, you're now tapping into the technology that is your gateway to bring your energy into the world. So whenever you're ready, share your screen and I'll walk you through setting it up here.
Okay, and let's see. Do I go up to view to share? Oh no, share screen. Sorry, I
No
should.
worries.
There we go, and desktop. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now you're going to open your browser, either Firefox or Chrome, whatever you prefer.
And unitingforaction.com.
Yep.
It's not showing up. The typing. There. Well, while Matthew's logging in, Jared, I just wanted to tell you that the day before Matthew and you had your conversation, I did a prayer asking for the people of similar resonance to meet me. And so when Matthew told me about you, I immediately said, no, this is perfect. This is an answer to prayer. So I just thought I'd tell you that.
It's so great. I can't tell you how many times I've heard similar stories from other people. And so there really is such a divine connection happening around this, where the people that are really, meant to connect are just connecting, we're energetically finding each other and connecting, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So here, Matthew, you're just going to click on login,
Okay.
and this is how you'll get logged back in.
Yeah. I'm just going to move this bar here.
Yep. And this time, since it's the first time where it says down below, no account, sign up for free, that's where you'll click right now. And just put in whatever email address you can check now, and this will be your normal login email address. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So now for your username, you can just use whatever you want. You can, again, stop sharing if you want to keep that private. And the password should be something that is unique. Don't use a password that you use for anything finances or anything. We want to make it not put you at any security risk using the website.
Okay.
And then once you've submitted that, then you can just start sharing again.
Okay.
It's so great that you said that, Pearl, about putting that prayer out the day before we had our meeting. It is so perfect the way, these things have been happening and these things are happening. It's so divinely guided. I loved it.
I agree. So we're on the login. We've logged in now. Can you see the screen, Jared?
No, I can't see.
Oh, sorry. We'll do that. She'll do that from her device.
Okay, great. You're going to check the email, and then you're going to click on the link in the email. The thing is, what you'll probably want to do, since you're on a different device, is once you click on the link, Pearl, is go ahead and send that link that you the page that you end up on.
Yeah.
Send it to to the computer that Matthew's typing on. However, you can do that.
It just said to click here.
Yeah.
And so, then now it says members profile.
Exactly. So now take the address of that page that you're on, and somehow, whether you're sending it via email or messaging or however you can send it to.
Oh, I see. Just send it to Matthew. I see.
Matthew to the computer, so Matthew can click on that same page.
So you should get that now.
And then once you got the link, Matthew, you can share your screen again, and I'll walk you through it from here.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to pull up the mind map again so I can go over a couple of things with Pearl while you're pulling that up, Matthew. So, so Pearl, we've got the videos, the production, the videographer, the video editor. So where are you going to be filming the videos for the courses? Is it going to be in some venue?
It's in my Open Door Healing Arts Center. So I have
Okay.
it. Matthew, did you get it linked up?
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's the Open Door Healing Arts Center.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Center spelled the English way, TRE.
Got it. Thank you for mentioning that.
That should be Open Door Center for Healing Arts.
Yeah, sorry.
We recently changed that. So, and we also have the edit profile page up now.
Okay, great. So let me stop sharing so you can share.
Okay.
So are there any other pieces that you can think of, Pearl, for your course video production other than the videographer and the video editor, since you have the venue? Or is there anything you need, like lighting or anything like that? Or I guess you can count on your videographer bringing that part in, but let's just add that.
I think the videographer, well, the videographer that I'm working with, she, I think I need to have another person working with her because she has sort of limited equipment, like different cameras. So we do need something like with good lighting.
Mm-hmm.
The first person that I've worked with different people, and the first person I worked with did a lot with lighting, and you can see the difference in quality.
Exactly.
From that time to what we're working with right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that you want to, when you're creating courses that are designed to, live on and reach masses, you really want to have the highest quality production you can, right? You don't want to have to redo your production.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good that we're honing in on that. So let's start with edit profile, and you'll see once you start to edit the profile, we'll have the profile there for you to tune into each time. So for your public info, so this is going to be how you're presenting out in the world, right? On your website and everything. So however you want to share yourself publicly, just put your first and your last name now. We'll add the headshot and the zip code and all that later. And your social media, you can add that at any time you want later. So let's just get your name in for now to get started.
So my personal name is Pearl, but as you looked at my website, my work name is different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the zip code would be postal code in Canada.
Yeah.
1R8.
Okay, great. And as you scroll down again later, you can add your headshot and you can add your social media pages. But as you scroll down to the bottom, Matthew, you'll see where you can just save or update the information now. And as you update, now you've just built your basic profile page. You can see in the upper right, it says information successfully updated. And then you can click on the view profile link over there on the left. I might have said right, I meant left. Information successfully updated. And so now again, at the top is just the very basic, simple stuff. There's the map. Does that look right from what you entered there?
Yeah.
And then, just your name over there. And then there will be more things that get added. But down at the bottom is where we've got the reality control panel that we're about to start building out, as well as your whole content system that we really won't be able to get into much today, but you have access to now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to manage your intentions. We're going to add a new intention. So yeah, go ahead and click on that, manage intentions. So let's just start with a new intention. Let's just make it really specific for the moment. So let's say produce course videos, because that's what we're honing in on as a, something manageable to begin with, right? We'll kind of zoom out later. And part of it too is, later when you have time, you're going to add a description of what you need to get done in the production, that sort of thing. And also you'll be able to take more time. We've spent some time, like you just said, what you need, in terms of lighting or higher production value, that sort of thing. We're capturing some things on video, and you're going to capture some things on video later that are directly speaking to the supporters that you're looking for. Okay, and that's what we're going to fill this content with, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But just to make it make even more sense, now that you've added produce course videos, Matthew, let's go ahead and click on the words produce course videos. Well, actually, before you do that, let me just show you what you're looking at. It's fine. You can go back just so I can show you what was there, and then we'll go back again.
So just hit back on the.
Yeah, just back, exactly. So what you're looking at, you've successfully added the first intention. You can add more intentions, and you will. This is where you're adding intentions onto your control panel. And then here it's really simple. You can either edit it, you can delete it, or you can click on that one intention. We're going to click on that one intention right now in order to start adding the supporters that you need to fulfill that intention. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just go ahead and click on produce course videos. And now we'll start adding the supporters. Again, we'll do it very quickly just because we have limited time today. So insert the new supporter. And the first one that we're going to add is going to be your videographer. So just type in videographer. And so again, what you have on this screen before you hit enter is you have the ability to add more description of the type of videographer that you're looking for. As well, when you scroll down, Matthew, you have the ability to add a YouTube link, that describes what you're looking for. You're speaking directly to the videographer. I need a videographer that can do this. I need somebody that has this. I need somebody that can do it these hours, all the requirements, and also potentially what you can offer to that supporter in exchange for their support, right? Like, I have this certain budget, but also I can give you these sessions, and I have these other people I can refer you to, and whatever you can offer as part of your offer for the exchange in order to create an agreement. Because your number one thing that you're looking for is to create agreements with all of these supporters, right? Once you have agreements in place with all of the supporters, now you actually have a functioning machine, right? Now you can actually get done what you want to get done. You can't get it done until you have a videographer. You can't get your courses completed until you have an editor. You get what I'm saying? Like, you need each one of these gears, like you talked about, in the machine in order for the machine to give you what you want, right? So the one thing you're looking to do is create agreements with each of them. And we're using this place as the place to be able to communicate to each of those supporters what you have to offer in order to create an agreement with them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So go ahead and hit save, and we'll do the other two really quickly, just so, again, you can see it in the control panel, and then I'll give you even more tools to be able to work with later. So besides the videographer, underneath it, let's insert a new supporter, and let's put the video editor in here. And then you can save that. And then the other thing, as you're just saying, Pearl, perhaps the videographer is going to show up with his or her own lighting, but perhaps somebody that has lights and can do that setup, and it's somebody different. It could be the same person, but it might be a different person. So let's put it in, because it's another role that we're looking to get filled. So in the middle there, or wherever you want, Matthew, you can just put, let's say, lighting and other production equipment. Or you can just say production equipment. We'll let that include everything right now. That could also include, like,
Sound.
microphones, exactly, sound, microphones, whatever it might be. And that's where, again, this can get even more detailed. So, what happened there?
You press something that sent us back.
Go ahead and hit back. No, not manage. Yeah, just hit back, because I've seen that happen one other time and it just happened spontaneously. Just try hitting submit again, and let's see if it does that again, because I don't know what.
Oh, I hit return instead of.
It still should work. It's good to know. It's good to know. Well, I'll have to test that. Thank you for telling me you hit return. That might be the problem. I don't know what the problem is there yet. Okay, so now that we've got these three, now we're on our way. We've got the start of our reality generating machine. So again, these are the gears in the machine. You need to create agreements with each of these supporters. We're going to use what we've done to start allowing others in your network to help sending you these resources as well. So let's go ahead and let's click on one of them. Let's click on videographer just to take us another step. So here is where you get to go ahead and, I'm sorry, just want to check on the time. Oh, we're getting very close. You have to leave right at.
We can go longer.
Go a little bit longer. Okay. So here is where we've got, again, where you can edit the videographer and add the additional part, but also in the upper right, you see where it says preview content, and above that it says reality control panel. Go ahead and click on the reality control panel first. And now I want you to see what you've already built out on your reality control panel. So here's your reality control panel. There's your first intention, your produce course videos. There's your three supporters that you're looking for. And here's where you're going to have the controls to turn the knobs to add time, add finances, or add relationships to any one of those to get them filled in, to create an agreement with any one of them. So this is where you're going to start to have this control over all of these different machines that you have for all of your intentions. And you say, I have 2 hours right now. What reality do I want to focus on, creating right now? Do I want to put my 2 hours into finding a video editor? Do I want to put my 2 hours into finding a videographer? Do I want to put my 2 hours into, this thing for my health? Do I want to put these 2 hours into, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is your panel where you get to be very specific about where you're putting your time, your finances, and your relationships to create these realities. So any question about the control panel that you're looking at and how it works?
So for example, like just press on time, Matthew, and see.
Yeah, those actually aren't connected yet. So that's what I'm working on later today.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, I'll give you the answer what you're looking for. Like, what would you do with time on this? So the first thing that you do with time on any of these supporters is you create the communication that you're making to that potential supporter to create the agreement. And I like to put it in the terms of you're telling that potential supporter a story, right? You're telling that potential supporter a story about what you're doing. I'm producing course videos. This is why I'm doing it. This is who it's helping. This is why it's such a great thing, for you to be a part of this. And then specifically, here's the story I'm telling you about, what I can offer you and what I need in a videographer and that sort of thing. And I'm about to show you how you tell the story. But do you get the concept of telling the story to each one of these different supporters?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now, Matthew, click on videographer again. We're going to go right back to that page we were just on. And now, instead of going to the control panel, this time we're going to preview the content. So in the upper right, click on preview content. So in addition to building the control panel automatically, what it's also built automatically is it's built this page within our story making machine, because the story making machine is where you tell the stories. So you can see it's already created this template for the support that you're looking for in a videographer, and it shows who you're seeking. You're going to fill in the details on what you're seeking. You're going to fill in the details of what you're offering, and you're going to fill in the details on what you're offering for referrals for this videographer. So do you see the broad outline here? And then I'm going to show you how you fill those details in.
Okay.
And so offering for referrals, it's if they can refer someone. Okay.
For what you want your friends, your network, me, whoever it is, to send you the videographer that you're looking for, right? So you want videographers to see this content. Hey, if you're a videographer, this is what I can offer you in exchange for being my videographer. But hey, Jared, here's what I can offer you in exchange for sending me a videographer.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
And we use that a lot. This is where we create this win-win-win scenario in our world now, is that we're putting out all these people that we're looking for, and all our friends are doing the same. And we benefit by helping our friends get what they're looking for, because we get a referral commission or a referral bonus or a referral session or whatever the incentive is for us to be able to provide what you're looking for. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when we're now starting to operate in this world where we're all sharing with everybody what we're all looking for, everyone's trying to help everyone get what they're looking for because we're all benefiting personally by getting them that. And we're being partners in everyone's success, essentially, because as we're connecting people with the resources that they're looking for, you know, we're earning commissions, we're earning business from the business our friends do together. So now we're all benefiting, we're all like invested partners in everyone's success. You see that?
Yeah.
So now go ahead and click on support admin there. And this is where you actually get to go ahead and add those details. You see, yeah, there you go. Exactly. So bless you. So here, bless you. So here is the support the page, bless you. Here's the support part of the page that got built automatically. Again, the page, and I'm going to take you back and show you more of the page, but this is the template now for the videographer. This is where you can add a YouTube link. So after we're done, you can take, you know, 5 minutes, you know, writing it. Well, you'll write out like all the bullet points, like this is all that I need from a videographer, and this is all that I have to offer for a videographer. Okay. And then you'll film like a 2-minute or a 5-minute video sharing that with all the prospective videographers. And then we're going to put that video on YouTube and put that YouTube video on this page right in this place. That's the YouTube link there. So the YouTube link there is your communication to prospective videographers, trying to inspire them as much as you can and incentivize them as much as you need to in order to get people to reply to you and say, I'm interested in what you have to offer to be your videographer. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's the process here. So the YouTube link is for that. Underneath it where it says seeking, that's where you're just going to type it out in Word. So you're going to say, here's the bullet points of what I'm seeking. I need a videographer that can do this, that is this, you know, here's an example of the type of quality that I'm looking for. Here's an example of, you know, other course videos that are similar to what I'm looking for. If you're good at this, I need you. Okay. And if you can do this, this is what I can offer in exchange. And if you can only do this, I can offer this. But if you can do this too, then I can offer this. You know what I'm saying? You're essentially doing as much of the negotiation as you can through the video, because this video is going to get out there and then you're going to have people respond. And then the people are going to be showing up at your door that you're going to be sorting through to create an agreement with one of them. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So you're describing what you're seeking over on the left. In the middle where it says offering, that's where you're typing what you're offering to those people. And then again, on the right, offering for referrals, that's what you're offering to me or to others that can send you the videographer that you're looking for. Make sense?
Yes.
Any questions about any of this?
It's just as we're talking, I'm thinking I know the person that's the videographer.
It's perfect. That's perfect.
Has
And
all the production equipment and can do the editing too.
there you go. It's perfect. And you can see how even oftentimes just going through the exercise has you realize that you have these resources in your midst. You know, the way I like to look at it is we have everything available to us. We have the whole world available to us. It's just a matter of us reaching through the spider web, right, to get to those entities that we're looking to connect with. And this facilitates that. Right, this automates that process. So the YouTube link here again is just where I encourage you to put it all in words in each of these boxes, because, you know, especially when it gets to bullet points, it's really easy for people to get, you know, what you're offering and what you're looking for and that sort of thing. So you want to summarize it in words, but you also, I encourage you as much as possible to get it into a video clip, and you paste the YouTube link for that video clip on this page. And when you do, and what you can do as a matter of fact, let's do it really quickly just so you understand what it ends up looking like on the page. Matthew, can you go to YouTube and just grab any video link of you or any video on YouTube just as a sample to show you how it shows up on the page?
Sure. Need to move my control bar here.
Yeah, and any video do, so you can just right mouse click on any video and grab the link.
Okay. I'm just going to put her up.
Great. Yep, you can just, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now you put it in there, you pasted the YouTube link, which is great. So now you can just go ahead and hit save. And so again, whatever you typed into each of those three boxes, seeking, offering, and offering for referrals, and that was successfully edited. And now you can see the preview. So now let's click on preview content again. So again, we're imagining that the video that you just pasted there is a video describing the videographers that you're looking for and what you're offering in exchange. So here is the video telling right where you're seeking the support to the videographer. It's showing, you know, here's the video describing what you're seeking. If you scroll back up on this page, Matthew, I'll show you the full context of this page now, because this page was built entirely from the supporters that we added, the videographer, the video editor, and the production equipment you see there on the left. Mm-hmm. And then you see underneath each one of those are the sections. So the big one videographer, video editor, and production equipment are the sections. And then underneath the sections are the concepts. And you can add more concepts, but the system did it automatically for you. And then also the videographer, the seeking videographer, it shows you what you're seeking in terms of the supporter. I'm seeing here, actually, you're seeing some other reality generating machines that shouldn't be showing up right now. I got to fix that. But normally it would just be your reality generating machines that are in your control panel that you'll be seeing right in that middle panel right there. So now as you scroll down to the different sections, you see the videographer section. There's the concept where you can add more information. And then here's where you're seeking support, where you've got the direct integration for the people that you're seeking the support. And this again is where they see the video you've posted, they see what you're seeking, they see what you're offering, and they see what you're offering for referrals, right? So let's say that I'm a friend and I say, oh, I think I know somebody that Pearl could use. I'm going to refer somebody. So go ahead, Matthew, and click on refer someone. And so now you can see, and it's picked up on this because it's already knowing that you're the person logged in right now. So it's saying it's from, and that's, you know, who the person that created this page is. So that's you. Happens to be you who it's to, or I'm sorry, from is the person that's replying right now, right? The person that's logged in. So if I'm doing this, it's saying from Jared to Marjorie, because you're the one that posted this. This is basically like a job posting, right? And then I'm going ahead and I'm typing a message saying, hey, Marjorie, I think that I've got somebody for you. You know, here's my email address if you want to, you know, have me send that person to you or something like that. So again, what this interaction does, and this will get more sophisticated over time, we'll build out a whole control panel around this, because you'll have all of these people that are sending you all of these referrals all the time. And you'll have a management where you can manage, you know, what referrals you're looking into and who you're ending up working with, and then that person that referred them automatically is going to get the commission or get whatever you were offering them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so should this message field, oh, message field is live, okay.
Yeah, this is live, and so is the get in touch. So just click on get in touch as well, so you can see the same thing there. And I'll let you actually submit something. So again, this is where videographers showing up on this page. They're like, hey, I could be what you're looking for, and they send you a message. So just send a sample message there, Matthew. Yeah, type in there where it says message. Yep. So then, so go ahead and hit send. So this is a videographer that's saying, I'm replying. Again, consider this your job posting. This is what I'm offering. This is what I'm seeking. This is somebody replying to your job posting. Okay.
And how do we change the to field?
So you can't change the to, because that's who posted this.
I see.
It's going to the person who posted it. It's from, in this case, if you were logged in, it'd be from Matthew.
Okay.
So this is where the message is going back to Marjorie. Hey, what you typed actually isn't exactly what you would be typing. You'd be typing, I am a videographer. I'm interested.
Oh, I see.
I'm interested in this position.
I see. I'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, I'm a videographer. Exactly. So now you send it. So now that you're sending it, now what's happening is an email just got sent to Pearl's email address that she registered with saying, hey, Matthew's a videographer. Okay. And he's interested. And this gives you the ability to start communicating with each other and start negotiating until you get to an agreement. Again, that's the objective of all of this, right? Is to get to agreements with these types of people. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're providing the full infrastructure for you to communicate all of these different stories to all of these different people in order to have those people show up, in order to begin a negotiation with them, in order to come to an agreement with one of them, right? And once you come to an agreement with that one, then now you're on to the next, so you can get agreement with that type of supporter, and then on to the next to get an agreement with that type of supporter. And if you go back to your control panel, then you're going to have agreements with all of your supporters. And actually, before you do that, scroll down a little bit more so you can see that, again, you've already got the video editor here. Scroll down, you've already got the production equipment here. So again, it's kind of like paint by numbers at this point, right? Like you've already outlined like all of the pieces you need, and the page is trying to build itself out for you already. But now you need to fill in the details that those people need to know in order for you to create an agreement with them. So you're telling one type of story to the production equipment people, you're telling another, type of story to the videographer people, you're telling another type of story to the video editor people. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this page is giving you the structure to create those stories, both in words and in video. Again, if we had more time today, what we would do is I would ask you questions for you to tell me everything there is to know about the video editor. Like, what are all the things that you need, that you're seeking, and what are all the things that you are offering? And in that complete exchange between you and I of what you're seeking and what you're offering, we just created the video content that's going to sit right there for the video editors, so that when you post this out on your Facebook and you say, hey, I'm looking for a video editor, then, here's the link where you can see what I'm seeking and what I'm offering, right? And then Matthew sends that same, post, hey, my wife is looking for a video editor, and he puts it out on his Facebook, and then I put it out on my Facebook. You see the mechanism that's happening here? You can only recruit from Matthew's network and from my network because you've captured the whole story in a way that that story can be shared, that can now be understood and transmitted to others. You get it?
Yes, a couple of questions I have that come up.
Yeah.
When people are responding, do they have to be logged into your website that we're looking at right now?
Yeah, they don't have to be logged in. So if you're logged in, it automatically recognizes who you are. But click on the refer someone again, Matthew, just so we can see. So again, what we put, and it'll evolve over time. It's going to get much more sophisticated. This is just the very first level of this. But you can see where it says include a way to contact you, such as your phone number, email address, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. Because right now, the way the system is set up in order to maintain privacy and not to worry about security is that whatever Matthew puts in there is going to get emailed to you, Pearl, with the registered email address that you registered with. So there's no way for you to communicate through the system at the moment, like an inbox for you to see like all the replies and that sort of thing. We're going to go there where it's going to be like an inbox, and you're going to be able to have conversations with people that reply. But in the short term, just as the quick way to do it, they send you their email address, they send you their phone number, they're not registered, the system doesn't know who they are, they're just replying to you, you're getting an email address with their message now. And now independently, you can choose to communicate with them however you choose.
I see.
Does that make sense?
So this is from your website. I can send out something in the social media that you've described, and then people respond through the social media, and then this website will pick it up and let me know that
Yeah, yeah,
comes.
let me be really specific about it. That was a great question. So what's the way this is going to work is once you post the video, let's say for the videographer here, once you post the video, once you fill in what you're seeking and what you're offering, once this is complete and ready to be shared, then what you're going to do is you're going to pull the link from this page, okay? And then you're going to post that link on Facebook.
Oh, I
And you're
see.
going
I see.
Or
to,
send it in an email or whatever.
exactly, or send it in an email or post it on your website, all the different places that you have to reach anybody that you're connected with already. And then and you're going to say, hey, I'm looking for a videographer. And if you follow this link, I give a full description of who I'm looking for, what I'm offering to them, and what I can offer to you if you can send me one of those. Okay, so that's like the one line description of what you post on Facebook or wherever, right? And then people click on that link and they end up right here, and then they see what you're seeking, what you're offering, and what you're offering to them if they can refer somebody to you. Make sense?
I see.
And then once those people show up here, if they want to reply and say, hey, either I'm a videographer or you know what, I've got people I could refer to you, then they send you a message through one of those two boxes here. And then once they send you a message, then that begins the negotiation for you guys to finalize. Because essentially this is like your first offer, right? Here's my offer to the world, you know, do I have any takers? Right. And so then somebody might reply and say, I love what you're offering, but I need 20% more, you know, or instead of giving me this, could you give me this? You know, that sort of thing. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you create an agreement with either the supporter you're looking for or the person who's potentially can refer somebody to you. Hey, Pearl, I see that you're offering 10% for somebody that, you know, refers somebody to you. I really, you know, I need 10% plus I need this, you know, can you give me that, you know, type of thing. You guys agree. And then once you agree, then they send you the referral. And also just so you know, so you guys understand, as we go forward and as, you know, more users of the system come on and we have more of the crowdfunding and more of the functionality gets built out, then again, that whole negotiation process will be facilitated online, and there will be agreements online, like DocuSign agreements, essentially. So then it has the whole thing, like you guys finalize what the agreement is, you put it together in like a DocuSign, like a legal document, and then you electronically sign it and they electronically sign it, and now you have a legally binding, you know, business agreement. Right. And so it gets to that level with everyone. So the whole idea is that you're creating agreements with everyone you can. You've got everything in place to execute all of the business that you want to get done. Does that make sense?
Yes, I see.
So Matthew, you want to stop sharing for a moment and we'll just talk for a minute and kind of process all this and digest. But essentially you can see it breaks it down to where the reality that you're seeking is really nothing more than a series of agreements with the supporters that you need in order to create that reality, right? And in order to create agreements with those people, you need to create some kind of offer that they want to agree to, right? And this gives you the ability to deliver that offer, not just one person at a time, but to capture it in video, capture it in a summary, have it on this page. And now that you've captured that communication to that prospect, now it can get sent out through any of these networks, right? Now we're leveraging your network, Matthew's network, my network, all your friends, your family, anybody that would send this out, right? Like now you have something to be sent. Now you have something that can travel and can find what you're looking for and bring them back to you. You see the mechanism there?
Yeah, yeah. I immediately for myself, I feel like I need, before I even do that, I need someone to help me even to navigate on the website. Like I need somebody to actually be like a production manager for this because for myself with technology, it's difficult for me to even follow on the screens and everything. So I think that's what I first need is someone to help me that I can talk to that can then work with with the system that you have because I'm good with hands-on, but not good with the keyboards.
No, I totally get that. And I totally appreciate that. And that's where, again, now that you get to define, you're starting to define that. So we can add that to your reality control panel, right? And now that you're starting to define that, you can define like what your needs are within that, right? Like Matthew's already been playing that role to a certain degree within this meeting, right? And
Yeah.
now, you get to define, you know, Matthew can't keep being that person for you all the time. You actually need somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And so you get to define what you need, and then once you define it really well and you define what you're offering to those people that can provide that, now again, like you said, you create an agreement with them, and now that person's starting to manage this other parts of the process for you, right? And I already have a person in mind for you for that. I don't know, maybe you already have other people in mind as well, but it's a perfect example where, again, this helps you start to outline. All of this is just the blueprint, right? Or even just like a sketch of what the home is going to look like, right? And now we need, somebody to show up that can be the architect that can start to put in the real plans of what the home is going to be, right? And that's the person that you're looking for right now, right? Somebody that can really architect the system. Like you're doing broad brush strokes. Here's like what I'd like my home to look like. It's going to be these colors and this layout and this many bedrooms and this many bathrooms. But here's my idea as a drawing, right? Now I need to hire the architect that can actually go ahead and like find the contractors and the builders and the people that are going to do this and the people that are going to do that. Right. So it sounds like that's where we're at in the process now. So now you have an idea of the tools available. I can recommend somebody to you that can help you start like really diving into building everything out, and you can start to define what those needs are. If there's other people you want to look at, or, we can just start with the person that I have in mind and see if that's a good match for you.
That sounds amazing. Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
it's sort of
Yeah.
like it's sort of like we have a target and now starting to aim at it. And so we kind of had began with very general, and now doing even one part of it shows, oh, I have to change the aim a little bit to be able to do that, what we just did. So that would be amazing if you have someone in mind. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. It's great. And it's perfect because, he and I have been talking about clients that he can work with to support and their business needs and use the system. And so we're coming together where, he's a business consultant, but I think he's going to start to use the tools in a lot of his consulting. So it's a perfect,
Oh, so he would already be familiar with what you're doing. That's even better.
Yes, he knows how to use the system. Exactly. So yeah, perfect. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start to have whole legions of contractors that we can refer in. That's the full service aspect of what we're doing. We're providing all of the tools so that people can use it as much as they can use the tools on their own with the training. That's why we want to record this, because now this can be a tutorial video for people to see and say, oh, I can do that. I'll just go ahead and do all of that, right? And now also, I hope that previous recording gets okay, but now we're recording again. So any other questions that you guys have about the process and what we're doing and how it's going to work for you?
I'm grateful that it's recorded because I'll go back and pay more attention. Like I paid as much attention as I could, but I don't have questions at the moment, but I have a general idea of what you're offering, and more ideas of what I need to do to help to sort of center what the big global idea and bring it down to earth, and where's the first steps going to be.
This is really good for that. I like to call it like what's the term I'm looking for now? It's a reality check on your reality that you're creating, right? Because like it really breaks it down to like all of the details and all of the people that need to come into play in order to create all these different aspects of the reality. So, especially for something so as putting a course together and coursework and in-person training, all of these different pieces. And like you said, as long as you've been the whole team, it's challenging. I know I've been the whole team for a long time, so I understand the challenge involved in being the whole team. And so now, it lets you map it all out and dive into the details of each specific part so that you can look at it through as on the control panel of all of your realities. Like, what do I need to do in order to move this forward? Get this machine completed, get this supporter over here, get this supporter over here, get this reality happening. You get what I'm saying? So I'm glad we're getting to bring that realism and that reality to your reality now.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I think I understand the basics of what we've gone through so far. So yeah, so far so good.
Okay, good. So I think now also, Matthew, since we didn't dive back into your stuff in this session, let's figure out a time where we can continue the conversation there, and you'll catch me up on, what you've processed and what your thoughts are, and start building some of these machines for you. Because like I said, like, I'm already having people that I want to connect you with. I want to have it happen within the context of, your priorities and your needs. Like, are you ready to talk to people now? Do you have to get other things done first? Like, where are you at in your different parts of the process so that I can be your energetic supporter right where you are at this moment?
Excellent. Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate you guys. I'm really grateful for our connection and for all that's happening between us. Yes, it's amazing. And I'm just excited to see how all this keeps unfolding. Thank you for, entrusting me with being your concierge and creating your realities.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Jared, for your vision. This is great.
Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Excited for the next chapter. So have a
And
great day. And
thank you. So when should we connect next?
yeah, I would say at this point, it's really a matter of how quickly you want to keep moving forward, right? I want to connect you with the person I'm thinking of and see if they are, if they, can be a part of what you're looking for and want to be. And I think part of it too is for you to figure out what kind of, what you can exchange in value, right? I think you're going to have to start thinking about what your budget is going to be for that type of person and for these other people, and start to, mapping it out in a way that's realistic for you in terms of, how quickly you move forward with everything. I think, just to give you some ideas, I'm trying to think about the person that I'm thinking of. I don't know. Please don't hold me to it. I don't know exactly what he's going to want to charge, but I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like $50 to $100 an hour or something like that for the business consultant that he would be doing, consulting he would be doing with you. So just, for you to start to imagine, like how many hours, would I want to connect with this person per week? Like what value can they create? Like how much am I going to have to do on my own? How much am I going to have to rely on somebody else? Again, that's where we have to keep striking the balance and start figuring out, how quickly you can move through time based on the resources you have available to devote to all of this, right? Like, let's just imagine for a second, just to get an example. Let's just say that you're a multimillionaire and you have all of the money that you could want to throw at this, and money's no object for you, right? You can imagine that you can define all of the needs that you have, and you can incentivize all of the supporters that you're looking for sufficiently that you could have all those supporters show up almost instantaneously, right? And your speed would be limited just by like the project managers that you have, these consultants that you have that would be managing all the different pieces of it for you, right? And once again, as long as you have sufficient incentives, money, traditionally to pay all of these people to do all of these things, then you can just like snap your fingers and things are happening. You get what I'm saying? So usually the limitation is going to be based on the limitation of resources that people have to apply. It's like, I don't have all the money in the world. I have like this budget that I can, put into it. So how many hours per week can I have this person working for me based on this budget, type of thing. So I think at this point, for you to start to, in your mind, mapping out, your budget, time frame, like how much can I allocate per week, and then what things need to happen per, in front of different things, start to connect you with that first person that's going to start to hold your hand through building out the other pieces But let's just say again, let's say that you decide with him or with somebody else that we're going to spend 4 hours getting to some discernible point of having things mapped out, having things defined, like my whole control panel is in place with all of my supporters defined, and he tells me that he can do that within 4 hours or $400 worth of work or something like that. Right. So again, it's where we're ready. Let me put it this way. I believe Uniting for Action can move as quickly as you can move. I think it's going to be a matter of you deciding how quickly you can and want to move through everything based on the resources that you're willing to put to it. Sometimes the limiting factor is going to be your time, right? Sometimes you're just going to need more time to put more coursework together, and then all of these other people and supporters are going to be on hold until you can take the time that they're ready. That was weird. You'll either know that that person is your person that's going to be marshaling you through this, or you'll have more information to hone in on that person if it's going to be someone else. Does that
So
make sense?
yes, so what I'm thinking is that it might be a good exercise for me to use the platform that we've gone through today and fill out as much as I can for, is he, what would we call him, a production manager or business coach? What would
Yeah, he's, in the broadest sense, he's a business consultant.
okay.
And what he's going to be doing in this case, like you said, is um, he's going to be let's well, for the moment, I'm going to call it the reality generating machine designer, because what he's going to
Oh,
do
yes,
is
okay.
he's
So
going to help you to design the machines that you need,
yes,
and then you're going to have everything mapped out on your control panel,
yes.
at that point.
So so what I'll do then is work on the platform that you've given us today, design for the reality designer, and hopefully connect with him if there's possibility this Wednesday morning around 8 o'clock
Let me
coming
make a
up.
note of that. Yeah, that in
That'd be
general.
8 o'clock our time.
So
So
Oh,
eight.
okay.
11 a.m. your time.
Got it. Got it. Okay. I was gonna say, because I know sometimes he's available. The person I'm thinking of has a 9 to 5 job, and it's sometimes available at 8 a.m. Eastern. That would be 5 a.m. for you guys.
Well,
He's also
if that works, if that time works for him, then I would meet him at that
you,
time.
you can meet him then. The other time that I typically meet with him is 5 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Your time. Um, But I think what we'll do is we'll start a conversation, and then you guys can work out the timing. But
Okay.
Wednesday, I'll let him know that Wednesday you're potentially available, and we'll start with that.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you so much. Good. It's good to have
Yeah.
something to actually shoot for before we close. Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for creating that action step. I'm glad that you did, and I'm glad that we're doing that now. So that's perfect. So we've got shooting for Wednesday to have the connection and see if he can start to support you. And in the meantime, now you've got the tools to use as much as you want. And you can connect with me on WhatsApp with any like technical support questions or any questions you have about using the system or doing anything between now and then. That sound
Okay.
good?
Okay, great.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Jared.
your time. Thank you.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Great to
Love
be
you,
with
brother.
you.
Yeah. Take care,
Yes,
brother.
awesome. Awesome. Have a great day.
You too.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye.